In Chapter 13, we talk about presentation aids. And in this video, part 1, we'll talk about the benefits of using presentation aids and the different types of presentation aids. Okay, so why use presentation aids at all? Well, first, they help you get the audience's attention. And they can help the audience understand and remember. For example, if you want to make sure that people remember the percentage of millennials who voted in the 2016 election, whatever that number is, put it in a big giant font on a page when you talk about it. People will remember that particular percentage number. Visual aids also help you address diverse learning styles. You may have heard people say, oh, I'm a visual learner. Well, if that's the case, putting some key concepts and terms in a presentation aid will help those people remember. So the different types of presentation aids. You can have visual aids, audio, audiovisual, and other sensory aids. Okay, a visual aid might actually be an object, a three-dimensional representation of an idea that you're trying to communicate. Or if you're talking about culture and you're talking about native dress in a particular culture, actually bring in that clothing. A model, if you're talking about something that's really big, you might want to bring in a small model of that to illustrate it. You can have photographs, simple drawings, and you can use maps. If you're talking about a particular country, it will probably be helpful to the audience if you show that country and where it is in relationship to other countries. So for example, if you want to talk about where Game of Thrones, where a lot of the filming for Game of Thrones was, it's in Croatia. Well, exactly where is Croatia? Show it on a map. Okay, you can also have charts. Charts are good visual aids. So in a flow chart like this one, it explains a process. But if you're going to use a flow chart, don't use one that looks like this. No one in the back of the room is going to be able to read that tiny print. You want to make sure that your font and the entire, that your font is big enough and that the entire slide is large enough for people in the back of the room to see. Okay, organizational charts and pie charts. So an org chart just shows who reports to who in an organization. And then a pie chart just shows the relationship among parts of a single unit. And bar graphs and line graphs. So you can see here in the population trend in this line graph, you can see how much that population has grown. You know that it's taken a dramatic increase. And that's a good way to show that information. Audio aids. If you happen to be talking about music, for example, maybe the influence of Miles Davis on other jazz musicians, you might want to actually play some of his music. An audiovisual aid might be a short video clip so that you've got sight and sound. Other sensory aids, if you want to compare different fabrics, for example, you might actually want to bring some samples in that they can smell. And of course, if you're talking about food, you might want to bring some food in for people to taste. And that concludes part 1 of Chapter 13.